Hi there. Today we're talking about how stress and anxiety impact alcohol use. Here are a few key facts to be aware of if you're interested in learning more about this complex relationship. First of all, anxiety and stressful life experiences. So there is a lot of evidence that links stressful life events, or SLEs, in our early life with issues later in life, including anxiety, depression, and sometimes substance use. SLEs don't have to be life or death situations. They can be things like witnessing parental divorce, economic adversity, or mental illness. The evidence indicates that experiencing 2 or more SLEs in early life significantly increase a person's chances of developing an issue with their mood, such as anxiety or depression. SLEs in adulthood can also create issues with our mood. Our brains don't deal well with ongoing stress, particularly the kind of stress that we feel we can't do much about. And then there's emotions and stress levels. So over our lives, stress causes us to produce cortisol to survive and stay alert. But when those responses are activated again and again, it's kind of like a button that gets pressed over and over. Sometimes it just doesn't work or gets stuck in the on position. People in this situation can feel flat and empty and be particularly vulnerable to the feeling of reward or euphoria that can come with drinking alcohol. And then there's emotional regulation. So people who have some problems with regulating their emotions as adults will often have had lots of stressful experiences as children, which have caused them to become dysregulated. The button in their brain that controls anxiety, mood, and even motivation has been pressed too much and is now worn out. They might need to drink lots of coffee to get going, or they might need to drink a lot of alcohol to calm themselves down. If there have been many disruptive, challenging, or stressful events in your childhood, this may have contributed to you experiencing some issues with anxiety as an adult. And then there's alcohol and stress. So in particular, if you're an anxious person who is under stress, you may be existing in a state of mild discomfort. It's not a comfortable feeling to be on edge or tense, and alcohol is something that significantly shifts that really quickly. We become conditioned to believe that this is perhaps the only way to take away the discomfort or relieve the stress we're feeling. And so drinking becomes more and more of a coping strategy, particularly when we're having a difficult time in our lives and are stressed, burnt out, or unhappy. The good news is that being aware of this relationship is a big part of the solution. Some of the following strategies are really helpful. First of all, talk to a counsellor or coach about the kind of things that are generally stressful for you, like relationship problems, criticism, failure, or rejection. Understanding your triggers mean that they're no longer triggers, but rather situations that can be handled with care and understanding. Secondly, finding other ways to self-soothe. So things like relaxation and exercise are effective ways of lowering physiological arousal and increasing your production of dopamine. Importantly, they also give us a sense of control over our mood state, which is really important for our well-being. Thirdly, find ways to reduce stress in your life. So if your stress button has been worn out by life events, it may be necessary to find ways to deal with stress differently, whether that involves a change in your self-care, seeking support from friends and family to help lighten the load, or problem-solving ways to address sources of ongoing stress. Fourthly, make a list of trigger situations and a plan to deal with each of these. For example, if you know that you're likely to feel depleted and exhausted after work, make a plan to go for a walk with a friend, or schedule some other self-soothing activity that will be effective in lowering your arousal. During these times that we're under stress in our adult lives, we need to be even more careful with things like alcohol and ensure that we're looking after ourselves and keeping our stress to a minimum. This might involve getting some counselling to help deal with the source of strong emotions, or even to help to resolve current stresses in our relationships, work lives, or friendships. That's it from me. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.